Is it time for Manchester United to clean house? Rio Ferdinand has called for Ruben Amorim to offload 3 key players before the January window shuts, and his reasoning might just reveal the heart of United's struggles this season. Will this shakeup save the Reds or sink us further? Let's dive in. Welcome back, United fans. The January transfer window is heating up, and big names like Marcus Rashford, Antony, and Malacia are on the chopping block at least, according to Rio Ferdinand. Today, we'll break down Ferdinand's comments, Amorim's tactics, and the state of our squad. Are these players the problem, or is this just another knee-jerk reaction to a disastrous start to the season? Stick around as we unpack the drama and chart the way forward for Manchester United. Let's start with Ferdinand's controversial take. He didn't hold back, saying that Rashford, Antony, and Malacia are bad energy and need to go.
You've got Antony, Rashford, Malacia. They're all going this month.
Yeah.
They're definitely going.
I think Anthony's going. I think someone said to me Real Betis or something like that. I think get them out, man. Sorry, no, I'm just being honest. Like the more them type of guys are around, where there's just a bad noise, they all want to go. They're all happy to go. Let's just get them out. Let's start afresh. Give the manager, because you know what it's like. If there's people that are unsettled and they're in there and it's not going to plan and they're not happy.
Well, they spread it.
It's like a cancerous kind of bad energy, and it moves around.
Now, Rashford is an academy star and a fan favorite, but his performances have dipped, and his recent comments about being ready for a new challenge have added fuel to the fire. Antony, on the other hand, hasn't delivered on his hefty price tag, with rumors linking him to Real Betis. And Malacia? He struggled to make an impact, especially with Luke Shaw out injured. Is Ferdinand right to call for their exits? Or are we giving up on these players too soon? Ruben Amorim walked into a storm when he joined in November, but even he didn't anticipate just how big the turnaround task would be.
I think he's just letting people know that this team he's taken over are a bad bunch of players. Him for his principles, they brought him in for the way he coaches, they brought him in for his style, they brought him in for all of those things and more, obviously. So to expect him to come in just because of the players that he's got, who actually haven't produced for the previous manager, by the way. So is he going to soften his approach and change his approach for the players that got the last manager to sack as well? Yeah, you need time. I just think he needs to get to this next window, get busy, get some out through this window, get some out in the next window, because the players, listen.
Do you think they have to cut deals to get people out the door?
Yeah, because the players are on massive money. They might have to loan 4 or 5 of the players because they can't sell them, because other clubs ain't going to be able to pay them 250, 200 grand a week, because they don't warrant that right now. So I just think that when you look at him, you can't ask. I don't think you can bring a manager in for what he's been good at and why you've highlighted him, and then go after a couple of months. You should change to adapt to these players who weren't actually good enough for the previous manager. Don't make sense.
Yeah.
Get the rubbish out and give him a couple of windows to do that, and bring in and recruit the right players.
With just 2 wins in 9 league games, we're closer to the relegation zone than the top 4. That's uncharted territory for a club like Manchester United. Amorim hasn't shied away from criticism, even calling this squad maybe the worst in the club's history.
It's hard to explain. We have to acknowledge the moment and not going around the problem. Everybody here is underperforming. No matter what the circumstances, we are underperforming. And we have to accept that it's unacceptable to lose so many games for any club in Premier League. Imagine Manchester United. So it's a really hard moment, but we have to continue. We have to continue. There is no other way. We need to suffer and continue. The opponents are better than us in many details, that we cannot be consistent, that I'm not helping my players in the moment. So it's a hard moment. You have to acknowledge that we are in a very difficult situation. We are without all the bad records, as losing games at home, losing games in Premier League. So we are really underperforming, and we need to win games. That's all. I'm just here to try to help my players, but we need to understand that we are breaking all the bad records. So it's a proud thing we need to change. In 10 games in Premier League we won 2. I know that. imagine what is this for a fan of Manchester United. Imagine what is this for me. So we are getting a new coach that is losing more than the last coach. I have full knowledge of that. Like I said, I'm not going to change no matter what. And I know we can succeed, but we need to survive this moment because I'm not naive. And I know that we need to survive now. So we are being the worst team, maybe, in history of Manchester United. I know that you want headlines, but I'm saying that because we have to acknowledge that and to change that. So here we go, your headlines.
That's a bold and painful statement. But could it be a calculated move to light a fire under the players, or is it a sign of frustration? What's clear is that Amorim needs immediate changes, and that brings us back to this transfer window. The January window is the perfect opportunity to reshape this squad. Reports suggest we're targeting a new left-back, with Patrick Dorgu from Lecce being the front-runner. But is Dorgu the answer? And what about a new striker? United have been toothless in attack, and while Højlund shows promise, he needs more support. Selling Rashford, Antony, and Malacia would free up funds, but is that worth the risk? Rashford's inconsistency aside, he's been one of our most productive players in recent years. Antony hasn't hit his stride, but could Amorim unlock his potential? Malacia may not be the strongest option, but can we afford to lose defensive depth right now? Let's not forget the bigger picture. Ferdinand warned about cancerous energy spreading through the squad, but is that the real problem? Or is it a lack of tactical cohesion, poor recruitment, and injuries? Our Europa League clash against Rangers is looming, and we can't afford to slip up in Europe after our domestic struggles. The truth is, this transfer window could define not just Amorim's tenure, but the direction of Manchester United as a club. A clear-out might seem drastic, but it could also be the wake-up call this squad needs. Guys, we're at a crossroads. Should we back Amorim and embrace a clear-out, or hold on to players like Rashford and Antony in hopes they'll turn things around? Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with Ferdinand, or do you think we're making a huge mistake? As always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more Manchester United updates, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a moment. Together, let's keep the faith and support the Reds no matter how tough the times get.